Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be back with you. For those who haven't met me, I'm Dr. James Marcum, and you're tuned in to Biblical Prescriptions for Life YouTube. And I want you to consider sharing this, commenting, give us a thumbs up, tell us what you think, be a part of our family. Today, I'm going to continue on our discussion about taking natural remedies to the next level. Today, we're going to be talking about Hawthorn. Hawthorn's what we're going to talk about. But we want to start by focusing us on the real source of truth, where we can go to find answers. I just give suggestions, but the real answers are between you studying the Word and listening to what God has to say for you, not only about your health, but about all things. So Hebrews 10:35, it's a very short verse. You might be able to memorize it. It says, therefore, do not cast away your confidence, which has great reward. So the two words I sort of focused on in that text was confidence and great reward. We're going to talk a little bit about that after we talk about Hawthorn. So remember, natural remedies have been around for a long period of time. And I was trained in modern medicine. That's just the way I was brought up. I have a medical degree. I have an internal medicine residency. I have a cardiology fellowship, and I've practiced modern medicine for many years. However, I realize that there are many healers from all walks of life, and we all can throw something in there. I shouldn't say throw, but we all can contribute something to healing each other. And I admit that modern medicine has gone off track. It's pretty good at treating symptoms, but not so good at treating cause. And through the years, everyone has understood through the pharmaceutical industry how much money's involved and the government's involved, and sometimes sorting through what's true and what's best for you is hard. So I'm trying to bring together a lot of different ideas. I'm letting you sort of sort through those, but our main purpose is pointing each one of us to the true source of truth in a life, and that's the Bible. And that's pointing people to Christ, the one we should worship, the one that can bring us to ultimate healing. So I ask myself, if what we've been doing in modern medicine is working, shouldn't everyone be getting better? But you look around us, people are not getting better. Rates of cancer going up, heart disease, hypertension. We've talked about the disease now of obesity, which is triggering a lot of these problems. In fact, people are not getting better. So we have to look, maybe our approach should change. Maybe the narrative that's out there, we should change it. 90% of our dollars are now spent on chronic disease. And for chronic disease, I think that there are many other different options that we should consider. So we've already explored some of the other natural remedies that are very common, and you might want to go back and look at the ginger, which is very good for migraines and some nausea, inflammation. We talked about garlic and how it helps with blood pressure. We talked about turmeric and how it can protect us from inflammation, the endothelial lining, things of that nature. And in talking about the natural remedies like Hawthorn and all of them, remember, these natural remedies have many different substances in the chemicals of the plant usually, or the herb, that helps us do better. Modern medicine tends to do something called reductionalism, that they just focus on one chemical pathway. But in these modern treatments that we're talking about today, these natural remedies, and I say it taking it to the next level because I want to let you know how to use this medicine in conjunction with modern medicines you might be taking, thing you might be able to substitute. things that you might want to talk and ask your physician who's caring for you or provider about. So when we talk about these natural remedies, we realize it's many different pathways that are contributing to the health benefits. So in talking about hawthorn, remember hawthorn is a berry and it's been around for a long, long time, much longer than most of the medicines that people are taking nowadays. It's been and another name for it, hawthorn berry, is mayflower. It's been around in Chinese literature and medicine for years. In fact, this is one of the go-to treatments in Chinese medicine for many different things. It's been around in Ireland as a berry for years, and the active ingredient is called crataegus. And I might not have said that right, but it's called crataegus. And in fact, the literature goes back from 659 AD in talking about this medicinal berry. And here is a picture of what a hawthorn berry looks like. This is what a hawthorn berry looks like. And in a hawthorn berry, it's been estimated that there's about 150 different chemical compounds. And I wanted to go over with you one of the best, if you really want to have a good article to read to know about hawthorn in great detail, look at this article. This is from the Frontiers in Pharmacology. It's fairly new, 2022, and it shows the roles and mechanism of hawthorn and its extracts on atherosclerosis. It's a review. So I like these type of articles because they review all the other articles that have been written. Now remember, these natural remedies, because they're not making people a lot of money, there's not a lot of articles, there's not a lot of scientific studies about it, but a lot of this has come from the Chinese literature because they use this a lot in their treatments. They also use this a lot in Europe, and they specifically use it for heart conditions, and I'm going to talk to you about those. So in this review article, I want to show you this next diagram, and see right there, that is the hawthorn berry in the middle. And all of these side pathways show all of the different mechanisms that it helps with. So if we go up towards 2 o'clock, it helps with inflammation. And it shows up all of the different chemicals that it helps in fighting inflammation. If you go to 11 o'clock, it talks about endothelial dysfunction. Specifically, it helps with nitric oxide, which helps the arteries do better, gets bigger, it enhances their function, lowers blood pressure. Then at about 8 o'clock, it tells another mechanism how it decreases oxidative stress, these free radicals on the system. And then on the bottom at 6 o'clock, it shows another chemical that it makes that might help in stabilizing cholesterol. So as you can see, hawthorn helps potentially the cardiovascular system in many different ways. It's used in many different countries. But you ask yourself, well, how do I use it? And it's something that should I use? Now, if I was perfectly healthy, I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't think that this would be something you would need. But in looking at all of these different studies, I think it does have some benefit for people, especially people that want to enhance the ability of their heart that's weak. It's been used on several studies to increase and treat chronic heart failure. There's been about 28 trials looking at many different patients, and it shows that people that take it do better. One study showed that their strength gets better, their exercise tolerance improved. So it seemed to help those people that already had chronic heart failure. If you looked at the mechanisms, if it increased nitric oxide, it's probably going to also help some with people with coronary artery disease, blockages in the arteries. It's also going to help some with cholesterol. So it's going to help on many different levels. So it's going to help people with weak hearts, perhaps people that have blockages in the arteries. And then looking at some of the things it does, it also works on some pathways that might help different abnormal rhythms of the heart. So it might help a little bit because it works on some of the systems that helps with the rhythms of the heart. It might help people with skipped heartbeats and some abnormal heart rhythms. So that's sort of the ways it can help. What are the side effects? Okay, let's talk about those. So we know that it might help people that maybe have some funny heart rhythms, some skips, maybe that has a weak heart failure, maybe have some problems with the arteries of the heart. Maybe will help with blood pressure a little bit because it brings down it helps increase nitric oxide. So the side effects that I saw mainly are nausea, dizziness, and it can bring down the blood pressure. Okay, so people that take that as a natural remedy, first of all, you need to talk to your doctor and make sure it would be a good fit for you. The people that I'm careful of in talking to them about it is people that are using other medicines, especially for the heart, which lower the blood pressure, other medications that help with rhythm. That group has to be very careful. The people I say that should not sort of mix this is those that taking digoxin. Okay, so if you're taking digoxin, I wouldn't do that. It seems like you have to be a little bit careful about it in people that are also taking herbs that thin out the blood. And there was one medication that I wouldn't take it on, and it's spelled Vandetanib. You shouldn't take Hawthorn with that. And that's in reviewing all the literature. So people that have low blood pressure might not take it. People that are on blood pressure medicines for the heart might not take it. People that are already on medicines for inflammation might not take it. So the main side effects are interactions with these things, nausea, dizziness, and lowering the blood pressure. So remember, people have been taking it for years and years, especially in China, in Europe, as a way to help improve their cardiovascular health. So what are the doses? How much should I take if I'm going to talk to my doctor about this? Well, the doses vary. The studies that I read about from this review went anywhere from 160 milligrams to 1,800 milligrams. But most of the studies that they said that helped with heart failure, weak hearts, getting people to do better, were about 450 milligrams twice a day, or about 1 gram a day. 450 milligrams twice a day. What was way too much? If you got up into the 8 grams, those levels, those were way too much. But most people nowadays, they don't have access to these hawthorn berries, these mayflowers. They don't have these around their house. So it can be bought, different preparations. This is a herbal support. This is dried, and they put it in a capsule. And this has 1,000 milligrams. So this is something that I would take maybe once a day if I had met the appropriate criteria. It can also be put in a tea if you want to. Of course, you can get it in a berry. You can buy it in a powder, and people take the powders from 300 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams of the powder. It can be bought as a solid, which you can take 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon and dissolve it in some water. So it comes on many different ways, but most people do take it, these hawthorn extracts. They take these as a supplement. These are, I take, if I would take this, it'd be one a day and to help make my body do better for cardiovascular health. So that is, in summary, basically hawthorn as a natural remedy, taking it to the next level, showing it what we shouldn't take it with. And I mentioned those two medicines, medicines that lower the blood pressure, medicines that take rhythm. If you're on a lot of blood thinners, you have to be careful. People with a low blood pressure might not do it, okay? But it's been around for a long time. Chinese, they take it as a part of their regimen regularly. In Europe, they're taking it. I would not take it if I was on digoxin for sure. So this is a medication, a natural remedy that has lots of different chemicals in it that can help on those mechanisms that we showed. This is a more holistic product rather than a reductionalist, just one chemical pathway. So I just wanted to give you some information on this hawthorn berry or hawthorn as a way. But let's get back to our text today, Hebrews 10, verse 35. Therefore, do not cast away your confidence, which has great reward. There are many people out there, many people that are false teachers, and they turn their back on the truth. And I think the best way to find out who's a false teacher is go to the Word, make sure they agree with the Word, make sure they talk to God, make sure they pray. And a lot of people are out there claiming many different things. I tend to listen to those that have Christ in their message, that claim to look at the Bible as a source of truth, even if they might not have everything right. Who does? But I would listen to them a little bit more than people that are just trying to sell a miracle pill out there that says, oh, this thing can fix everything. Here, take this. I don't really go for that. So there's many false teachers, not only in health and healing, but there are also teachers out there in spiritual things, and that's even more important to focus on. But says in this verse, therefore, do not cast away your confidence. So hold on to your confidence, and that's confidence is confidence in the Word, confidence in your ongoing relationship with Christ, that He's going to lead you. Don't let other people think that this isn't enough. Don't cast away your confidence, because your confidence will have great reward. Might not be in this earth, might be in heaven. It has great reward. God will reward His people, His children. He wants to give us good gifts. And He's given us lots of things in our earth to improve our health. But the greatest thing to improve our health is when we can understand and walk with and stay in a relationship with Christ, who's going to help us have confidence, going to guarantee our great reward. So that's about all I had today to say about the hawthorn berry. Wanted you to have a little more knowledge, take it to that next level, about 1,000 milligrams a day if you're going to take it to support cardiovascular health. Seems to be useful for people with weak hearts, people that need some help with the blood vessels that might not be so healthy via nitric oxide, maybe help with some rhythms, some skip beats that way. Wouldn't take it if I was on the medicines that I mentioned, had low blood pressure. You have to check with your heart doctor if you're on heart medications, and it's always a good idea when you take these natural remedies to make sure that your provider agrees with you and understands and can help you take this in the most responsible manner if you need to take this. So I hope that's helpful. I'm Dr. James Marcum. Give us a thumbs up. Share this with your friends and neighbors. I'm going to be back pretty soon with yet another biblical prescription for life.